Good morning, everyone. Welcome in from a chilly Los Angeles, California. 45 degrees this morning. 45 degrees. Don't the weather gods know that this is supposed to be California? I don't get it. But here we are, 45 degrees. Chilly.
Good morning, gents.
Morning, everyone. Who is
Good morning, guys.
Dave.
Oh, jeez. It figures, Dave.
Has
I
anybody
know.
seen my hygiene products?
Yeah, exactly. How are you this morning, Alex?
If I was any better, sir, you'd have to reach through the screen and
There
pinch
we
me.
go. That's what I like to hear. James, welcome back.
Good morning,
Welcome,
sir.
welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
See,
welcome.
Alex, am I in the right position on your screen too?
You look
Okay.
great, brother.
Yesterday we had some kind of problem where it wasn't lining up or something.
Well, because we only had 3 boxes.
3.
So, in your box you probably looked great, but in our boxes you
Okay,
look good.
cool.
We're good.
Dave, you're coming in, as Alex said, hot this morning.
Coming
I'm
in
telling
hot.
you. So what about all of this stuff, you guys? With a person tries to run down an ICE agent, loses their life, unfortunately. But come on, isn't attack with an automobile just at the very least enough reason to suffer some sort of consequences? And I'm not saying I'm happy the person is no longer with us, but I mean, my goodness, there has to be some sort of causation, don't you think, James?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Dave, go ahead.
Go ahead, James.
Sam, it's really unfortunate somebody lost their life over protesting our presence to try and upright the state, the city, the country, and for people to run a blockade. That's exactly what she was doing. She cross parked in the middle of the street, and they wanted her to get out. She disobeyed an order, and unfortunately, there was one agent right in front of her vehicle. And when you make contact that way, there's obviously an intent. And her intent was to either run away and hurt that guy at pretty much any cost. So he reacted to defend himself, and he eliminated the threat. It's unfortunate. I really didn't. Nobody wants to see that happen. Doesn't matter race, ethnicity, none of that. We don't want to see that, but it's unfortunate. And I think Dave and I talked about this very topic this morning. I think we're going to see more and more of it, and it's going to escalate.
Well,
as ICE goes around and they make their presence known. I just hope people just let it happen.
Well, President Trump pulled the National Guard out, or is pulling them out, and the Supreme Court says you have to use regular troops. Regular troops defined as the military. Is this what we've been waiting for? What is it? Drop number? Oh, we got the Trump train already. Is this the drop? Where we're going to be seeing some significant things happen? Could very well be. I don't know at this point. Alex, what do you make of it?
I'm trying to get my hearing back.
Oh, sorry.
Quick. You got to back off that mic a little bit when you Trump.
They come so quick. I'm not prepared. Go ahead.
There is no celebration at all in a loss of life. I'm just going to put that out there straightforward. Unless, of course, it is justified and in accordance with law. This is such a deep subject, right? Because I think this is what, like a Kyle Rittenhouse thing, right? Like this is one of those situations where you continue to push and push and push. And I mean, we've said it a lot, the FAFO. Again, I hate to see any loss of life. And could there have been a different reaction? I believe there could have. There's multiple angles. But again, Chris Rock, the comedian, says it best. Like, you just do what they tell you. Like you want to get through it, just do what they tell you. And you can hear repeated attempts to get this person to stop doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I think the spark. It's the spark. It's a 2020 spark. We'll
Could
see.
very well be. Dave, any thoughts?
Yeah, it's well on its way. I'm sure there's people getting busted right now. Minneapolis closed all schooling for the next 2 days. So
And the
it's
rhetoric
coming.
that the mayor was saying was unacceptable.
Oh, yeah.
Unacceptable. All right, well, let's say some good mornings here. Who do we have with us? Charlie is here. Good morning, Charlie. And Charlie sent the Trump train. We love that. Ego is here from Eastern Iowa. D, pouring rain and jobless. Ooh, bummer. Rick Sr., finally protesting in California. PJ Party. Peggy is here. She said 10K in 10 minutes. Did we get there? Oh, yeah, we're already. You guys are awesome. Wildlife Fan is here. Wendy is here. D said, James, we missed you. Yes, we did. Pure Blood, Holly Johns. Good morning, Holly. Benji, 1959. Big Ben is here. Virgo 47 said, damn it, my notifications for you aren't working. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And I've got some updates I'm going to get to here in a second about what to post in the chat and whatnot. I Speak 1717 said, and the liberals are running with it to try to justify their existence. JWLS is here. D is here. D said the woman's put stupidity over her children. Very good point. Very good point. Black Mag is here. Vicky Pasur. Sherry from East Tennessee. Wendy Top Crop TV is here. Good morning, Seth. Vicky Veronic. Mark Matson. Welcome in, everybody. Charles Osborne. Holy smokes. Hitesh Hits is here. Everybody's piling in. PJ Party said we did it in 5 minutes. I know you guys are awesome. Just awesome. Diva 53 is here. Good morning, Diva. Let's see here. Gen X Holtz. There you are. Martini time. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wait, look at this screen. It's all jacked up again. All right, there we go. Wendy, Wildlife Fan. Hey, Mr. Jeff Paps here. Hey, Jeff, glad you could make it. Let's see here. Martin's WB just popped in. April Burgess, LSE.3 is here as well. Hey, what do you know? My chat's working over there on YouTube today. Kathleen Paschke's here on Facebook. Let's see. Mark Travis is here on YouTube. He said Trump is the best president we've ever had. Amen, brother. Amen. Melissa Bella said, America. Yes, Earl Shannon's here. Earl said, good morning, guys. It's another wonderful day. Thank you, Jesus. Excellent. Thanks. Mark Travis says, what's your opinion on Greenland? We're going to dig onto that a little bit later today. Vonnie Darling's here over on Facebook as well. KORN 1999 said, do you all think Trump and RFK Jr. are healthy? Yes, I do. Absolutely. And, you know, there will be successors in place, so I'm not worried about that. I believe there is a plan, so I wouldn't sweat it. Hey, Magic just showed up, and Senator John, Homegirl 38 is here as well. Jan Levin being grandma. Andrea Lynn, 81. Barb 7599. Melissa Flinner. Holy smokes, everybody's here today. All right, let's see. Alex, what about some indices this morning?
What about some indices this morning? Well, market's a little mixed this morning. S&P 500 is down 2 points. It's up 2 points now. It was considerably down. 6,923. The Dow is up 291 to 49,287, while the NASDAQ is down 121 points, 23,462. Looking over at the commodities market, oil is up $1 a barrel, sitting at $57.07 a barrel. Meanwhile, gold down $5 to $4,467. Silver down $1.59 at $76.03. Crypto markets mixed, pretty much even, some down, some up, just a smidge. Bitcoin down 0.1% at 91,078. XRP down 2% to $2.15. Ethereum down 1% to 3,121. Stellar Lumen down 1.3% at 23 cents. Cardano down 2.4 at 39 cents. And that's your market update for Thursday.
Excellent.
January 8th, 2026.
As always, Alex, excellent. Hey, Glenn's here. Martini Time said, hello, I'm in Half Moon Bay celebrating my husband's 60th birthday. Well, happy birthday to your husband, Martini Time. Please tell him we said happy birthday. Native San Diegan is here. Welcome in, Native. Haven't seen you in a while. Let's see here. Big B said, are we purchasing Greenland? Well, I don't think we all know at this point. Benji 1959 said, jumping lives is fun. I know. So for all of you who haven't seen what's going on, we're each going live on our own channels, and then we're joining for the show. So if you're in my live, you're going to see my chat, and you're going to send gifts to me. If you're in Alex's, the same, Dave's and James. They're all different, and we're trying to break out of this algorithm. That being said, there's some new notes that I want everyone to be aware of. Remember when we used to say the you-know-what shop as kind of a safe word to get the chat going? Well, there's a new phrase now. And that new phrase is, for context, this live is educational purposes only. So educational purposes only is the new safe word. If you want to put that in the chat, it kind of helps.
For context.
For context, yes. For context, this live is for educational purposes only. Now, whether we can use just for context or just look for live educational purposes only, I don't know. But if we do those, either the combination of those or the whole thing together, it would certainly help us out, and we appreciate it.
For context, interstate isms are for educational purposes only.
Exactly. Let's see here. Hey, Lord Bullion just showed up. Hey, Lord Nuts here. Good morning, Nut. Dana Mackey just. What's that?
They're stronger point. They're stronger right to the point. Are the interstate?
Yeah, exactly. No playing around there. There's no smoke and mirrors there. Dana Mackey's here. Grow Kind Hair Loss System. Cheryl's here. Good morning, Cheryl. King's Girl 1974. Let's see. We have, wow, we're lit up over on YouTube today. Robert McCarskey's over on YouTube. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. All right, Dave, what do we have for farming and agriculture today?
It's not too bad. Pretty quiet across the board. Corn is up a penny. Soybeans down 1 to 2. Wheat is up 2 to 3. Cotton is down a little over 10%. And hogs are making a difference compared to yesterday. So up 1.32. Big news push for deportations are set to explode. Huge worry for farmers. Give you a heads up. We need to have get yourself some green cards is the idea to take care of. If you need any workers, get some green cards.
There you go. KORN 1999 said the punishment will be swift for those that committed acts of treason. 100% I agree. And how many have already been meted out? Well, God only knows for sure. Do you guys hear that sound? Is that me?
It's Alex. He's like moving around.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
It's not me. Stop it. It's not me. Don't blame me.
So, all right. Well, let's see here. James, what do we have for a military report today?
We have a military report, sir, and we're gonna play the same banjo as we've been playing for a few days. After Maduro's capture on January 3rd, I've been asked many times if our armed forces are going to remain in that region, and the answer is yes. So to give you a perspective on that, Operation Southern Spear, involving 15,000 troops and sailors, naval and air assets, have cost us so far $600 million as of December. So that's not even current numbers. The daily cost of the Navy and air assets, including U.S. Aircraft Carrier Group, is $18 million a day. That's kind of a drop in the bucket.
Exactly.
Our military assets will remain as the United States oversees the transition of power, and it will continue to campaign in countermeasures, counterterrorism, and other security operations. The United States will foster Venezuela, and when it's time, they will do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. The United States continues its efforts in dismantling drug trafficking networks, and so far has been highly successful. Both Maduro and his wife have pled not guilty to charges including conspiring narco-terrorism and conspiring cocaine importation.
Interesting.
Careful with that
Thank
word.
you, James. Thank you. So again, everybody, for context, this live is for educational purposes only. Kathleen Paschke's putting that in over on Facebook. Maybe it'll help over there too. Who knows? All right. Well, and here's just something else that I thought really interesting, you guys. You know how they're making a big deal about Venezuela oil, that they're going to give us 30 to 50 million barrels of oil? I don't know why they're highlighting that, because I did a quick search on AI. We use 20 million barrels of oil a day in America. So 50 million barrels of oil, that's a couple of days worth. I don't understand why they're making such a big deal out of it. What do you think, Dave?
Well, it's to show that that's why we went in there, and oil is a bad thing and everything else. So it's just propaganda. They're utilizing it. There was a lady interviewed from Venezuela, and they said back in the day when we sold our oil to America, our lives were so much better. We are, and they have been just hampered with socialism and communism over there across their in their country. So we're moving forward.
Well, what it's interesting to me is even President Trump is saying, or the cabinet saying 30 to 50 million barrels of oil. That's 2 days supply in America. Alex, do you understand why they're highlighting that, or what do you think is behind it?
I'd have to do a quick search on at capacity, what would Venezuela be producing? Again, I think it's the bigger picture in the fact that Venezuela has one of the largest, if not the largest, supplies of oil underneath its soil. It highlights where Russia and China's mindsets were. It highlights the last 25 years and the decline of that country. The overwhelming evidence in there was a video where a lady walks in with her phone rolling, and she wakes her husband up to tell him about what's going on with Maduro. And this guy is like insane with emotion, like crying and laughing and cheering. And look, if you haven't traveled out of the States and you've only lived having your pampered life that we are afforded here, you don't understand the hardships of other countries and what it looks like there when people live in literally a shack that has 4 poles, a piece of tin roof. The couches and the beds are underneath it, no walls. Like these people are living in squalor and poverty. And why? When they're sitting on one of the largest oil reserves in the world, why in the world are they living in poverty? I'll tell you why. Communism. For educational purposes only and for context, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Right. Well, and Jake Tapper was trying to call out Stephen Miller. And he said, we went into the country and seized the leader of Venezuela. This is Jake Tapper speaking. And what was Stephen Miller's response? Damn straight we did. There is more strength in this cabinet than I've ever seen in any other presidential cabinet in my life. James, what do you make of it?
Makes you want to play a banjo, doesn't it?
I don't know about that, but
it is reassurance for somebody to have that confidence. I think the one thing that I would like to see is we win the confidence of the American people by majority, and I think there's a lot of people that do, but the ones that protest our majority or that majority, those are the ones that are getting, a lot of them are getting deported. And as Dave led on earlier, we bought 6 aircraft to do that with, and we spent 120 million. I think that was a little high for an expenditure. I think we could have gone out to the Ghost Fleet in Arizona and got some trained pilots, put them in those older aircraft, and we wouldn't have had to spend so much money.
Well, I think there's so much hoopla about what's going on. And I've got to think at some level, it's highlighting the nefarious people for action. And part of that is the U.S. European Command proclaimed the seizure of the Russian-flagged tanker in the Atlantic, supports POTUS's proclamation targeting sanctioned vessels that threaten the security and stability of the Western Hemisphere. Now, I personally think that this has already been negotiated. I think China's going to take Taiwan. I think we're going to take all of America, North and South America. And I think, I don't know, and I think Russia's going to work with Ukraine. The only thing I'm not sure about is Iran. My guess is it's probably going to go into the Russia bloc, but I don't know. Alex, what do you make of all that?
I don't know if I agree with you on Taiwan, sir.
No, it's just speculation. I have no receipts.
I understand. I don't think that we will understand the full size and scope of the conversations that are going on between world leaders until we are 5 or 10 years down the road. There's no way. We can guess all day long. Go back to 2018, and if somebody told any one of us that the world was going to shut down over a cold, we wouldn't have believed them. And right. So I don't think even if we knew what was going to happen, we would even believe what's coming. Did you guys happen to go look into that EKO X post and the timeline for the executive order that I spoke of yesterday?
No, I thought you were going to send us a link, but I didn't get it. Or if I did, I didn't see it.
I probably failed to send that link.
Yeah, send it. We'll take a look at it. Carol Burke said Cuba is next. Well, I think Cuba is going to be part of the Americas. And I think if you just look at it from a geographical standpoint, I think that's kind of how it's going to divide up. Now, just a guess on my part. James, what do you think?
Well, I think I'm going to step on Maduro's dirt snake right here.
Is Lisa here? I don't even know if she's here. But if she is, Lisa, you got another interstatism.
Only.
This is a catch-all. This is very good on the United States military, and it shows their brilliance. The Bella 1 evaded a U.S. blockade back in December, and this is the ship that was seized in the North Atlantic. We also snatched another tanker in the Caribbean called the Sophia. The Bella 1 had been re-registered on 12/31 as a Russian. Are you done, Alex?
Oh, we can hear you typing.
Just typing.
The Bella 1 had been re-registered on 12/31 as a Russian ship named the Marinera or Mariana, something like that, and they painted a Russian flag on it. The ploy did not work, so that's why we grabbed that ship. It evaded a blockade and got away. Well, guess what? They put a flag on it, re-registered it as a Russian ship, and we grabbed it. That's why we have that ship.
Yeah. Hey, Big B just became a super fan. Welcome in, Big B. Thank you. Dave, any thoughts?
Well, we're gonna stop any ghost ship or ghost tanker. We're gonna stop it because how do you stop the snake? You cut its head off. So
yeah, exactly. Digital Alki just showed up. Alex.
I don't know. I got completely derailed because James yelled at me. What were we talking about?
Oh, we were just talking about the ships being
right. If you've got sanctions in place, there's a reason, right? So everybody go research why are we sanctioning that oil? Because it's being used to support things that we don't believe to be lawful. So FAFO.
We were talking about the cold that shut down the world, and this person over on YouTube said, when was the last time a cold killed 800 people a day in New York City? And then he had some not so kind words. Well, what I would ask you is to go look at the statistics for the flu and how many people get killed by the flu every year. And it just so happened that particular year, there was no incidence of flu, but we had the other thing that happened. You might want to look into those numbers before you start spouting off.
Cognitive dissonance, man.
Yeah.
Let the trolls let the trolls keep boosting our.
And it could be a bot for all I know. Who knows? Paul Salsi 4352 said, "Much love, MAGA patriots." Welcome in, Paul. Thank you. All right. So, U.S. Energy Secretary said, "Quote: Let's just engage with reality. Oil, gas, and coal are what run the world. Full stop. We can't make a wind turbine or a solar panel or a nuclear power plant without massive amounts of oil, gas, and coal. That's how the world works." Truer words have never been spoken. I'm not advocating for petroleum products, but I'm saying that's where we're at right now. And we are going to make a pivot, but it's going to have to be over a period of time. James, what do you think?
I'm glad you called on me because this guy's been asking me the same question over and over and over. It has to exactly what to do with oil. Chris Wright, the 17th Secretary for the Department of Energy.
Yeah.
He's the Department of Energy. Anyway, people are asking about what's going to happen with this oil that we seize, what's going to happen with the oil in the future that they produce. I don't know if people remember that I reported the other day, prior to Maduro and Chavez's takeover in Venezuela, they were producing 3.5 million barrels a day, and they were very, very wealthy. So at any rate, people are asking what's going to happen with this oil since we occupy that area. The secretary is going to take over. The Secretary of Energy is going to take over the sale of oil for Venezuela, and the funds are going to be deposited in a U.S. controlled account for the benefit of the Venezuelan people. So that's the ad. We're not stealing anything from any other country. We're going to help make their country healthy again.
Yeah, I would agree with that. 100%. Alex?
We are absolutely going to give the resources, the benefits of the resources back to the people. How is that different from the last 50, 75 years when we've stepped foot into some other location? Just look at that, and it's very different, right? As far as oil goes, going back to the 50s and the 70s, like what happened to all those stories about we're gonna run out of fossil fuels by 2000? Like, come on, folks. The world's gonna be completely frozen by 2000s. Oh, but wait, the oceans are gonna rise and we're gonna be underwater by the 2000s. Because they don't know, so they generate what? Fear.
Yeah, and they've been saying that
for money back to the people.
They've been saying that for 30 years. Yeah, 100%. Oh, the water levels are rising. There's no evidence of that whatsoever.
And I've got people in my chat. Oh, Venezuela, things are worse for them now. No, it you know what? That might be true for a very short amount of time because there is going to be a little bit of pain, but it doesn't compare to the last 25 years of how bad it's been there for them. So, the protests, celebrations that I see going on in the streets of Venezuela say that you haven't looked up your receipts, bud.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Sue B just showed up, and Teresa Faria Contractor. Brian is here. He said that cold didn't shut me down. I still had to work. Exactly. Red Rosie's here. Hey, Rosie. Oh, yeah. Gen X Nick said, just read that the Senate is passing something to limit Trump's ability to declare war. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that in tomorrow's dispatch, but you're right on target there. Glenn said, Vietnam oil. Dana Mackey said, all they do is lie. Exactly. Virgo 47 said, but Trump. Exactly. They have no solutions. The left has no solutions. It's always Trump bad, Orange Man bad. That's their go-to because they have nothing else. You're right on
Sam,
target.
can I add something to Alex's statement?
Sure.
Don't forget about the 8 million people that had to flee for their lives over to Colombia. That they can now get to come home.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. And I think with Nasara Jassara, I think they're going to have their wealth back. And people are now calling for 4 million barrels a day to be made. Well, that's a good return. It's going to take some time to repair their infrastructure on their oil. As I told you the other day, they haven't inspected and repaired their oil pipelines for 50 years.
Right.
So we're going to help them go over and get it all uprighted. And I'm proud to say that.
One of my cousins, Joe, I won't use his last name, but he worked for Fluor Corporation for years. They retrofit refineries. He was also part of Jacobs for years. He would go to Saudi Arabia and live there for 2 years as they redid these refineries. I'm going to be reaching out to him and talk to him about this because he would have much more insight on this. But I think the amount of oil that used to flow out of Venezuela that compared to what's going to come out, it can do nothing but help the Venezuelan people if President Trump is a man of his word, and I believe he is. I believe he's there to help the Venezuelan people. I think it will benefit the American people. And, you got Colombia on deck and Mexico on deck and Cuba on deck. How it's all going to play out and when, well, your guess is as good as mine, but it's coming. So Charlie's Voice Rising had reported on federal prosecutors just blew the lid off of a $7 million SNAP fraud scheme in Boston. Elon Musk's response to that was $500,000 a month stolen by a single fake store with fraudulent food stamps, SNAP. Dave, what do you make of it?
It's just another scheme that that they dove into, and there's many more. This is 7 million's cheap. What we're going to see when we break into Illinois, California, and a few other ones out there. So, going to be interesting.
Yeah, Alex. I think you're muted, Alex.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to annoy James again. I think that once we even if we tried right now to put a number on what the total across this country is going to end up looking at, maybe that's our next raffle. Let's come up with some sort of prize for whoever gets the closest number to the amount of fraud found by the end of 2026. I don't think you can guess it. It's insane.
Yeah, James.
Baltimore had 12 stores, $16 million. We know about Boston. Cincinnati, 3.4 million. Fresno, California, 5 million. New York, one person defrauded to the tune of $1.8 million. Brownsville, Texas, 1.2 million. Obtaining food in the one in Brownsville, Texas, they were obtaining food, then reselling it in Mexico. How about that for a little gimmick? Large-scale SNAP fraud is particularly prevalent in states with large urban populations. And let's not forget Atlanta. They haven't even gone there yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Got to get into the Somalian daycare business is what you got to get into.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's exactly what my buddy in Texas said, because Amarillo has a considerable population of those individuals as well. And he's like, man, we need to open a daycare. We don't have to do anything.
Yeah. And for context, this live is for educational purposes only. All right. Well, let's move on. So Tom Homan, the badass that he is, came out and said, and he was talking essentially about the 2,000 ICE agents in Minneapolis. He said, if the Democrats are having a fit now, you better get some counseling. This is about to get a hell of a lot bigger. Now, for him to come out and say that, and we now know that the regular troops that have been authorized to be used by President Trump is the military, what are we looking at, James?
Well, I guess it's unfortunate that we're even having to deal with this, because people decided greed was more than honesty. Just to let you know, it's not just 2,000 ICE agents. 600 of those 2,000 are investigators examining alleged fraud in the state. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents. Here's what Tommy was probably referring to. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents are traveling to Minnesota. And I don't know if any of you guys, and I know Sam probably seen this, I'm sure that Dave has seen it, on the interstate system in Texas, when you leave large metropolises like El Paso in either direction, you have to go through customs. And U.S. Border and U.S. Customs and Border Patrol are going to come here to Minnesota, and they're going to put checkpoints on every stinking road, and they're going to check every single person in the state. That's what has been put in for by the federal government. Yep. So as this escalates, they're going to clean house practically in every state in the same manner.
Yeah.
You thought way stations were a pain in the ass, Dave? Wait till you have to go through that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, JP Metal Slayer said he worked for Fluor for 7 years. Wow, JP. Yeah, like I said, my cousin Joe, he was there for years, there and Jacobs. Pureblood Holly John said 38 trillion in fraud. Yeah, that's a very good point. How much of that is going to get wiped out and how? Well, your guess is as good as mine. All right. Oh, we got to do a sponsor break. So, sponsors, Mike Lindell, MyPillow.com. Use the code SAM. Neil Naturopathic, code SAM20. Dr. Glidden, go to my website, click on Dr. Glidden's button, code SAM. And Bestline Racing, go to my website. The code is SAM. Alex, what about meditation?
Link in my bio. I wrote a guide on meditation.
Excellent.
It'll do you good.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so moving on. President Trump announced steps to ban large institutional investors from buying single family homes. He said people live in homes, not corporations. This is huge, in my opinion. I don't know what the numbers are in terms of the number of houses that BlackRock or State Street or Fidelity or any of them have bought. But if and when this happens, I think we're going to see a significant correction in the market. Dave, what do you think?
Well, across the board, obviously with a tightening home supply and everything else, it's for the positive. And he's right. As they put investment in and charge whatever rent they want, obviously the American is trying to survive and just pay the rent. So it's tight on both ends.
Yeah, exactly. Alex?
There are approximately 86 million single-family homes in the U.S. All investors include small mom and pops, landlords, and a few properties own about 20%. That's about 17 million homes. The vast majority are held by small investors, fewer than 10 properties. Large institutional and corporation investors have thousands of homes. Looking at the numbers, equating to somewhere between 450 to 600,000 homes. So, top firms collectively hold 300 to 330,000 homes. What does it look like when they come in and they buy those up? Well, I think it's contributed to the driving up of the home prices, because that's not single family demand. That's corporations buying up so that they can Airbnb it, or they can sit on it, or they can smoke the whole development in a fire down in Palisades and build multi-tenant housing. I don't know, but it's a good thing. I think that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nope.
Well, it triggered my memory when you said multi-home housing and the Palisades fires. People don't realize that 2 years before that, they passed legislation here in California where you could take one parcel and dissect it into 4 separate parcels. So I think that runs right along with what you're saying, Alex.
Well, and how many homes have been rebuilt since a year ago? How many homes?
Very good point. Very good point. James?
You guys steal my thunder. You know that? I was
sorry.
waiting.
Yeah.
I was waiting. Well, just so you know, in 2024, lawmakers proposed banning investors that owned at least 1,000 homes not to be able to buy anymore. I'm not sure if that got passed or not. What does this actually do when corporations come in and buy homes? One, it controls the populace that wants to live and thrive there. It controls development like smart cities. It's a quiet method of a takeover that's in plain sight. California, Hawaii, and North Carolina. So, like Alex said, they don't issue permits, they don't build, and these corporations can basically come in and write the destiny of the land in the future. What can we do with this? We want to build a smart city. They're doing it in Florida too.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say not even 10% of the homes have been rebuilt in the Palisades.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even 10%.
Exactly. Zach Scott over on YouTube said, Sam, be a man of your convictions. Why haven't you left Cali? You know why I haven't, Zach? Because I'm a fighter. I'm not giving up my home for these leftists, these liberals, these anti-American people. I'm a fighter. I'm 6'3", 220 pounds, and I'm ready to go. That's why I haven't left, Zach. Sorry, that just pissed me off a little bit.
No, yeah, to each his own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you want to turn tail and run? Go ahead, not me. All right, Let's move on. Oh, did I get everybody on that one?
Yeah.
That one lit me up a little bit. I'm sorry, but that lit me up a little bit. My apologies, everybody. You know that I don't usually get that excited. What's that?
I said for context and education
purposes. That's right. I forgot.
Do we need a fan and some ice water, brother?
Yeah, for context and educational purposes only. Oh, God. Oh, my
Well, Sam, I only have one thing to say to that. I can run faster scared than you can mad.
I ain't running, baby.
I have some comments over here. Tim Shaw said, size don't mean anything. I'm 5'4" and like a honey badger, LMAO.
There you go.
Right below that, new follower that I think we just picked up, Nomadic Maverick said, 6'4", 330 pounds of American badass. Here if you want help, Sam.
Excellent. That's what
There
I love
it
to
is.
hear, you guys. Well, I wasn't saying my size just to highlight. I was just saying I'm a fighter. I don't care if you're 5 feet or 7 feet. The fact is, this is America. We got to take it back. That's what I'm saying.
And Sam Martini says, I feel the same way, Sam. I'm not leaving beautiful California. I'm here. I'm not going to be bullied.
Exactly. I was
So
born and
he's
raised
here.
here in Los Angeles. I ain't going nowhere at this point. All right. Let me see. Let me see if I can clear my aura here. Exactly. God.
Clear your
Woo!
palate there.
Man, that freaking lit me up, baby. Oh, okay. Andrea Lynn said, I can see the smoke. Exactly. Oh,
Sam's face
JP
gets
Metal
red when
Slayer
he's
said, hell
upset.
yeah, Sam, true patriot. Let's go. Joy said, fight, fight, fight. Yeah, Donna Fox, you tell them, Sam. I love it, you guys. You guys are great. All right.
You're fired.
In through my nose, out through my mouth.
Serenity now. Serenity now.
Serenity now. Exactly. Holy smokes.
You don't need any NOS, Sam.
Yeah, no kidding. No, man. I got a little coffee going over here, and I just got out of the gym, so I'm ready to go. Let's rock it. All right. Brian said, I'm 6'2", 230, and I'm ready to fight. That's what I like to hear. And I think that's part of this whole movement, you guys, the Great Awakening. It's getting people in shape so that they can think properly, so that they can act properly, so that they can defend those who cannot defend themselves. That's a big part of why this show exists, so we can speak the truth. I don't care. I mean, I am not suicidal. I have no intentions of that. I'm not going anywhere.
Careful with that word.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that I'm not. That's not. If that happened, it isn't me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I ain't running and turning tail. No
For
way.
educational purposes and context, Sam, could you please share your testosterone regimen with us right now?
Exactly. For context, this live is for educational purposes only. Holy smokes. All right, everybody. There we go. All right, let's see. The Beard of Truth said the greatest weapon a warrior has is his mind. I think that is very, very apropos. And, you know, I'm a student of the Stoics, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius. I've read, if not all, most of their works. And I think you're absolutely right, the Beard of Truth. The mind is absolutely essential. But I think the mind is absolutely essential. I also think that if you don't eat right, if you don't supplement, if you don't exercise, the mind can't work at the peak that it needs to. And if you don't meditate, that mind can run away from you. And again, everybody get Alex's book because it is well worth it. D said, I'm fanning myself, Sam. Exactly. All right, everybody, let's move on here. So the USDA, we're going to you on this one, Dave. The USDA has released the new food pyramid. It's almost the complete opposite of the old food pyramid. Steak, eggs, meat, vegetables at the top, baby. That's the way it should be. Dave, what do you think?
Absolutely. High quality protein, full fat dairy diet, healthy fats, butter, beef tallow, and olive oil. Bring it on. Another top. Vegetables, fruits are given equal weight alongside proteins. So that's how it is. We know how that is. No processed foods. Put that at the bottom.
I've lived that the majority of my adult life. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have treat nights and what have you, but for the most part, baby, it's meat and freaking vegetables. James?
Well, you know, I think that RFK Jr. has done a lot for the country as far as bringing us aware of what's good for us and what's not. And I know it's not 100% caught yet. There you go, Dave. That all looks good.
I'll bring it up here somewhere.
Yeah, it all looks good, and I'm happy to see that we're looking after our health, taking the bad stuff out of our foods. It's absolutely paramount that we try and stay away from food in a can and a box.
100%. My brother, Dr. Mike, God rest his soul, one of his favorite phrases was, if man made it, don't eat it. And I think there's a lot of wisdom to that. And also, too, if you think about it, when you're in the grocery store, the perimeter of the grocery store is where the good stuff is. You have the vegetable area, which is in the perimeter. You have the meat usually in the back, which is, in the perimeter. You have dairy, which is in, the perimeter. I think if you stick to the perimeter of the foods in the market, that's where life lives. Alex?
The best food, quite frankly, is free ranging around property near you. If you're into that sort of thing, which we talk about frequently on the show, some of the best sources of protein and iron is meat that you can go get yourself. Again, if you're into that, or find a local person who raises, the meats local. We've got chickens up the road. I've got a neighbor across the road that's got beef. You simply set a locker date with a local butcher, and yeah, that's farm fresh, and that's the best that you can do. There's also a dairy right up the road. It's very strange to me how the perversion of food over just my lifetime, and I'm 52 years old. I remember drinking goat's milk and cow's milk, like from the source, right? Like you were out there putting it in the bucket, and that cream on top was good stuff, right? Like how is it all bad for you in 50 years? I understand some things in excess are not good, and almost anything in excess is not good, but this is a new message, new program on the television, right? It's some truth starting to spill out. What have I said for months? We're in the age of disclosure, guys. Buckle up.
Yep. Mark Travis over on YouTube said the best food is what you grow. 100%. I agree. 100%.
I eat salad with my beef. The only difference is my beef eats it first. So then
exactly. Exactly. Marley 19 said farmers need help re-nourishing the soil. Well, you're right. Now, Pat Militich, who comes on the show all the time, has a company called Soil Saviors. If you go to soilsaviors.org, you'll get a lot of information from Pat. And he's on TikTok as well. You should follow him. Charlie said, wine is usually on the perimeter. Charlie, we're on to you, Charlie. PJ Party said, if bread has more than 3 ingredients, then it's bad for you. Very good point. Jojo, it's Kelly said, y'all need to go down the mill. You mill your own organic wheat for bread. Just got my grinder and wheat. Good for you. I Speak 1717 said, buy sides of beef from a local farmer. 100% I agree. Sassy Minnesota girl said, I get my meat from a co-op, all local. Nice. Yeah, you're gonna. That I wish we had more of that here in LA. Beach Chair Farmer said, homemade mega horseradish for the win. Hey, wait a minute, Dave. You were supposed to send me some horseradish. What happened?
He typed that in my chat too. I think he's spreading some mega.
Oh, is that what? We're so.
I got to get that mailed off still.
Dude, what the hell are you waiting for, man?
Well, I don't want you guys to get spoiled all at once.
Yeah, exactly.
A friend of mine, Chase Langton, said hunting, going back to our roots, not only preserving, but also keeping and funding our conservation efforts. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Charlie said, I get my grass-fed beef from my daughter. Nice. We'll give her my number, Charlie.
Nothing better. I was just telling James that this morning. People go, what do you do with your smash burgers? What kind of meat is that? Like, it's the only way to go. Salt, pepper, and local raised grass-fed beef, man. Only way to go.
Exactly. Holy smokes, man. I can't believe how on fire the YouTube chat is. I don't think I can keep up over there. Well, let's move on.
I'm watching.
Okay, cool. So this is, James, we're coming to you first on this one. President Trump called for the U.S. military budget to increase from $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion in 2027. My postulation is, with that type of growth, does that mean that there's going to be more landmass for us to protect, i.e. Greenland, Mexico, Colombia, and the list goes on? What do you think, James?
Well, that we can probably speculate all we want, but we are building a lot of ships to keep.
Okay, go ahead. He's trying to keep up on his chat. Go on.
We're trying to keep up with China in certain ways, but when we're building 20 to 25 Trump grade battleships. It's kind of a thing, but Trump wants to. He boasts about it. We want to build the dream military, and he also says that tariffs will be an enabler and a big boost. 47's request for rapid completion times from the defense contractors. He's bagging on the guys that are trying to build two new presidential planes that'll just get drug on and on and on. And hell, Qatar has to give us the same kind of plane that he's trying to have two built from. I think that was a great gesture. But that is also a slap in the face to the defense contractor that can't provide.
Yeah, exactly. Dave?
No, you're right. We're expanding our area between Venezuela and Greenland. I think Greenland's coming. I know Rubio's going to Denmark next week, and 57 billion's a drop in the bucket. What we're going to pull off that area. So exciting to see. So yeah, we're building our territory.
Yep, Alex.
We've talked about Greenland yesterday. Strategically, it's a wise decision. Ultimately, I think it should be left up to the population to make their decision. There's this big hype back and forth in the news and the articles about troops on the ground and military takeover. I don't see that happening, and if it did happen, I'll be the first one to say that's not the way it should happen. So we'll just have to be patient and see how it plays out.
You can kind of succeed that. Like, who are we going to fight? The seals on the beaches, or there's 57? I mean, there's nobody there to fight.
Yeah.
Why is Iceland green and Greenland ice? Like, somebody make sense of that.
Exactly.
To keep the Vikings, is I think it was reason why.
Yep.
Keep the Vikings away.
Lisa Maria, you're awesome too. Thank you, my dear. I Speak 1717 said the price of horseradish just went up. Exactly. Pure Blood Holly Johns is rubbing it in. She's saying she's having elk meatloaf tonight. Rub it in, Holly. Why don't you? Good for you. I like it. Hey, Lace and Steele's here. Hey, Lace. Welcome in. Okay.
Wow. I Speak 1717 said, keep it down over here. And then Brian said, mute your typing. James is getting cranky.
All right, let's move on. So President Trump said that he'd just been informed that Venezuela is going to be purchasing only American-made products with the money that they receive from our new oil deal. These purchases will include, among other things, American agricultural products, American-made medicines, medical devices and equipment to improve Venezuela's electric grid and energy facilities. Another added benefit of bringing Venezuela into the fold. James, what do you think?
Absolutely. And you took a lot of my thunder by going on and on and on. I'm like, God dang it. We all read the same shit today. But what this does, Sam, is it makes the United States Venezuela's principal partner. 47 in his comments when he was asked about all that, he said Venezuela made a wise choice on their part to use us as a principal partner. I don't at this juncture know what we have in place for tariffs on Venezuela, but I think that stuff's going to get washed out. All we're really trying to do is get the company into, or the country into a financial freedom, let them flourish and enjoy a nice, rich life like they had before. And I think it's a very plausible thing, and I think it's very respectful of the United States to want to be a principal partner with them.
Yep. Alex?
Giving the money back to the people so that they can purchase whatever they want. And I think maybe it's some measure of gratitude that they would choose to buy American made for getting rid of the dictator. I mean, it makes sense to me. Common sense.
Yeah, exactly. Dave?
Well, and I keep going back to the one of the Venezuela ladies saying back in her day, our freedoms and we had money and we had everything else. And I'll post that on my TikTok account, but you don't realize what these people have been going through since I think it was the early 90s, I think. So it's feels good, and we're gonna build a combination between the U.S. and Venezuela, and we're gonna make everybody great.
Yep, exactly. Nomadic Maverick is here, and Stargazer Teresa. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for the heartbeats. And but thank you for all of the gifts today. My goodness, it's hard to keep up on all of these different platforms today. It's wonderful. It's loving having everybody here. Okay, last story of the day, James. We're going to you. The first Trump-class battleship will be the USS Defiant. President Trump's Golden Fleet will include carriers, destroyers, submarines, and unmanned vehicles. What do you know about it, James?
I'm gonna
Well,
be
thank you. See, that makes me happy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks, Alex. That was nice. There's going to be 2 new battleships added to the Golden Fleet, and eventually we'll purchase 10, with a goal of 20 to 25. The first of which is going to be called the USS Defiant, and its call sign is going to be BBG Bravo Bravo Golf -1. It's a 840 to 880 foot ship. It has 105 to 115 foot beam. Its draft is 24 to 30 foot. Its speed 30 plus knots, and it has a crew of 650 to 850 of crew members. That's crazy. Surface launch, it will have surface launch cruise missiles, rail guns, 5-inch guns, 2 300 kilowatt lasers, 2 600 kilowatt lasers, 2 ram launchers, 4 30 millimeter guns, 4 Odin lasers, and 2 counter systems. The ship will weigh in at more than 35,000 tons. It will have a flight deck and a launch area to be utilized by V-22 Ospreys. It could accompany carrier strike groups or command its own group called the Surface Action Group. Cost, a mere $10 to $15 billion, depending on the size and systems installed.
Yeah, excellent. Boy, I don't know how anybody could do any more than that with James. Thank you, James.
That's scary shit. I mean, that's a
I
bad mofo.
Exactly.
there is, so you're all aware, underneath your microphone settings, there is an auto bleep. So it will automatically bleep out words that violate the community standards. Like, James, you might look into that.
No,
Exactly. No, James is our spice on the show.
all we see is James going.
Exactly. We're gonna have to switch to sign language or something. But again, this is for context and is educational purposes only, right?
It is.
Holy
It is. Yes.
cannoli. Sassy Minnesota girl's rubbing it in. She said, "I'm having elk chili tonight." Wow. Yum.
I tell you what, it's an amazing leering system we got going here on this channel.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
We like to leer all day long.
Exactly. Doug Rice 59 said, "I'm having fresh caught walleye tonight. Yum."
Ooh.
D said, "Walleye is delicious." Yes, it is. King's Girl is agreeing with you, Dave. King's Girl 1974. Benji's laughing at us. Oh, come on, you guys. Pure Blood Holly John said, "And James is the best context." Exactly. James is our spice guy for sure. All right, everybody. So that's all we have for today. We are going to be signing off. We're at 112,000 likes. How many do you have, Alex?
15,000.
Dave?
48.
James?
17,900.
Holy cannoli, 17. I love the number. All right, everybody.
Is James the only one that got to talk about the ships? I'll take that today. That's all right.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alex. I must have missed it.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
All right.
It's all right.
All right. Well, everybody over on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Rumble, we're going to be signing off now because we can't play that music over on those platforms. What we